Hey guys, Chris here at PGTT 120. Having a little bit of fun this week. I was set a challenge by my son. He said that Marwar Junction, which is our Hornby only test track, that's where we've got every possible piece of Hornby track and curve on a 4 foot by 3 foot tabletop with their buildings, as you and also but minus their platforms, which we've got on order with the TMC. If you can place them on order with, unlike the Hornby website. But anyway, I digress. So Marwar Junction, just on black neoprene to help with sound deadening, and very plain and simple. We stuck some of the buildings because we've got some of those on eBay. But my son said, it's really boring, it's really dull. Dad, you need to do something with this. So I said, well, I don't really want to spend a load of money on it. And he said, well, you've got a box full of stuff there that was left over from previous projects and things that job lots you bought from when you've been to jumbles and shows. And I said, all right, let's see what we can dig in. Let's see what I'm not going to use on our proper loft layout. Well, we've got a Pico photographic scene. That's 00. I think it's supposed to be for 00. Well, we could make a studio blind for the background for that little back scene with that, and we've got a load of day glow and super bright trees of various different sizes that I have no intention of using. They're okay, but they're not northern moors type trees. They're sort of Sussex Downs, and in the spring. So we thought, okay, well let's chuck them on, and we've got a bunch of brighter green summer type grass and summer textures, which are not what I want for my northern industrial scene or for my North Yorkshire moors layout. So thought we'd have a crack with those. Have a bit of fun, spend the weekend, me and him mucking about, doing a bit of fast ballasting, and doing some groundwork and a bit of flocking and sticking some trees in. And afterwards, a bit of a running session with some German, some Deutsche Baum kind of passenger DMUs, which I'm having a thought about. I'm wondering whether, in my world, could they be repainted as Great Northern or as Northern Rail? Could I get away with it? I don't know. Anyway, they're kind of fun. See you later. So, what have we got? Some fluorescent trees, some strange kind of blossom type affair, some summer grass, whole range of different ballasts which I don't want to use, and some different size fir trees. Right, so here we have the right colour, cinders, that's what I want, but they're too big. It's 00 scale really, and a whole bunch of sort of weird super light stuff. So we thought, I thought I'd try and mix them together, making some sort of interesting kind of pattern like you get at the Needles at the Isle of Wight, if anyone's ever been there. And then spend a little bit of time just sort of shaking it around and trying to blend it as much as possible. Hindsight here, I probably would have left the super light stuff out because actually on the circuit it doesn't look so bad. In the video it looks like there's dandruff in the ballast, but it's fine. Just checking out where I want exactly what I want the buildings, and then I'm gonna just cutting out the neoprene that's not required. So I've got a different layer for the ballast. Yeah, and I suppose it's really a case of buzzing away with the little 3D printed ballast layer and getting the stuff on. Some people say they don't like this. I find it's fun. As long as you don't get too anal about it, I think ballasting can be quite an enjoyable thing. Pom pom pom, here we go.
Notice I'm doing all the easy stuff first. Yeah.
Now then, the easy stuff's been done.
And all the
With a little
straights
help
and
of that
curves.
little 3D
Right,
printed
okay.
scoot along thing, little hopper. Now, the bit that's actually the trickier bit. Well, some people think it's a tricky bit and they panic a little bit and they go, "Oh, I can't do the points," and they leave them completely be, which always looks a bit odd. So what we'll do is I'm going to show you how I do the points, and it's not really all that scary, I promise you. Right, so I shall crack on. So first of all, I'll show you the tools I'll be using. I like to use this little handy spatula, trowel, we will call it, and then a nice brush, and that's pretty much all you need. Okay, so you have a little bit of fun with this. Chuck as much on as you like, or do it in small amounts. Get the rock out of the way. Okay, then with your brush, have a little bit of a tickle. Now, don't worry at this point about the mechanism. It really isn't an issue. Okay, then we're going to do some tippy tapping. Okay, and then what you need to do is keep cleaning this part of the turnout here until you're happy with the movement. Remember, it doesn't matter there's not much of the ballast here. More a case of having just enough to make it look like it's operable. And what you'll do is you're very careful. You'll just start to spot to see where there's one or two little pieces. And now we have, there we go, full operational points with a little bit of ballasting. Okay, and then in with a funky spatula, run a little bit along the side. Okay, I'm not getting in the way. Okay, just pile that up along the side there. Introduce it with a brush. Okay, just like that. Just so that you've got some of the ballast going in places you want it. A bit of tippy tapping again, and then make sure you've got your clearance. There you go. I shall do some more sped up, and then we'll apply some glue. Okay.
Now, something of note, if you want to use the Hornby buffers, they need to poke into a clear bit between the sleepers. So you have to go back in and clear out some of the material before you actually clip them in place. When I do so, when I actually put the glue on all this gravel and ballast, that will help stick these in place. And here's my favourite glue, Ballast Bond. It's a pucker job. And here's a little example of what not to do if you actually blob of stuff straight on, you see the bits float up. That's not what you want. It just make a mess of the whole thing. So what you need to do is spray it with water. This will help you break down the surface tension. Now the water I'm spraying has a little bit of fair liquid in it as well. And then in you go with the ballast blonde, and you can see where the surface tension is broken, it just flows so well. Doesn't matter, it looks a little bit messy at the moment. I normally go, in fact with this piece I'm sure I go back over this with a bit more water spray just to help spread it out, and then I'll probably speed up the video so that you can see how it dries. Obviously the rails will need proper cleaning after this. A bit of a soak with some water, and let's see how we get on with it. Now for a little bit of ground cover. Strange how the beige stuff looks bright white in the ballast, but it is beige. Yeah, this is just easy stuff to just sort of sprinkle around, and then here's my little, I've got a little billow that blows air that's very handy for just blowing small amounts off of track. That's what that's doing. And then I shall just crack on with sprinkling this around the place to a couple of different colours, and then we'll squirt with water, cover it with glue. There you go. Something a little different now. For the rest of the green areas, I actually painted some, put some green paint down first, then a couple of different colours, then a bit of glue, bit of water, Bob's your uncle. Some 1 mil summer grass. I think 1 mil's all you need for 120 scale. Using a bit of scenic cement, and guess what? I didn't video doing it. Now for a little tip. These scenic sprayers, the stuff comes with a little bottle. Now I actually don't put glue through the bottle. I put hot water and fairy liquid and squirt it through the nozzle, and it clears all the glue out of the nozzle. There's a little tip for you. Trees. Laying them all out so I can see what I've got. It seems like a fair amount actually, but I soon realised that after drilling a few and starting to glue them in, that this amount of trees doesn't actually really go that far. So if I wanted a really dense forest, I think I'd be buying a lot more or making a lot more, to be honest. I had to fashion a cardboard tube to go on the end of my Hoover in a moment, so I could vacuum all the junk up. Should have thought about that beforehand, but there you go. Didn't take long to clean it all up. Right, well, this is what those trees look like. I'm kind of happy that it's supposed to be just a bit of a fun project anyway. I know it's not realistic, although I'm quite happy with my spacing. And some of the low shots look reasonably convincing. Got to sort out the top of that finial. Yeah, that I think, I don't know, it'll do for now. I think I need to stick some trains running through it. Right, some white foam ball sellotape together so it all folds up with some Pico photo back scene double-sided to it. It's not fantastically realistic, but I think
Hey guys, yeah, I know it's all very silly and basic and bright and fun, but so what? It's just a bit of a giggle. It's just to make the test track a little less dull to see locos driving around on. That's all. There's no real demand for super realism, just sort of a tidy and simple stick it on and enjoy it kind of thing. Right, okay, so if you're liking this, you want to see some more of Marwar Junction, don't forget to like and subscribe. The liking really helps, and so does the subscription. I know there's my videos seem to be watched by quite a few people who don't subscribe and like it. Um, okay, but if you did like it a little bit and you didn't mind being annoyed by me every now and then, that would be a real boost. You can poke Peachy in the face. Check out a couple of videos, and we'll see you soon. Cheerio, bye.